Well, hello everybody, welcome to Key West. We have a sunny evening, so it looks like the rain and the clouds have calmed down a little bit. We had a couple of pretty gray days, so last night the sun finally came out. It was a little bit late to go for a little sunset walk, but then today looked pretty good. So here we are. Of course, we are at the old historic harbor here, close to Schooner Wharf. And we're gonna be headed over to Mallory Square in just a bit because it looks like some of the artists are back, maybe not all of them, but it's time for us to go and check out, see how those guys are doing after, I think, 10 weeks of not performing. So welcome everybody to Key West. Hello Larry and Susan. Hello Kiki and Dave. Hey John and Jeff. Hey Stephen and Wayne. Shane is here and Richard, Big Bear. Hello Chris. And Wayne, here we go. Yes, Wayne, I am coming to Mallory in just a little bit. The water was so nice and calm today, I kind of had to start with a little opening shot of the tiki bar. And you know what, guys, I'm gonna try, I'm not sure, normally you're not really supposed to kind of walk on the docks, but I think we should just go and have a little look close up of the tiki bar. So there are, I think, a total of like 4 tiki bars here on the island. So you can book a tiki bar ride from here or from Garrison Bay at the Mellow Pub. So I hope everybody has been having a good week so far. As I mentioned, the weather has been getting much better here. It is a lovely, felt like 96 here right now. And look how calm the water is. So we had a lot of manatees here in the harbor area since there wasn't a lot of boat traffic. So I always try to keep an eye out. Of course, today would be easy because the water is so calm, but it doesn't look like there are any around. Hello, way up north guy. Hey, Brian. I see way up north guy made it for the actual stream. Hey, hello.
Mark is always around when I don't even talk to him.
So Schooner, of course, Schooners has been open for a while. It's a locals bar, and they had reopened as a restaurant actually several weeks back. So they weren't part of like the latest wave of places opening, which was last Friday. So Friday is when the bars here in Key West open, and of course the whole Florida Keys reopened to tourists on June 1st. So it's been a little over a week. So the weekend was pretty crazy. If you've been following our channel, we went for a little bar crawl on Duval Street on a Friday night. On the first night the bars opened, and things were pretty crazy. We didn't really expect that. And things seem to have quieted down a little bit after the weekend. So since yesterday, it just feels a little bit more laid back. And so yesterday, the Green Parrot reopened too. So some of the locals bars were waiting until yesterday to reopen. They didn't really want to reopen on a weekend. So the Conch Republic Seafood Company here has added tables outside so that people can dine outside, and tables pretty far apart, which is nice. I have to admit, it's pretty much the when we go out, we tend to go out to places that are outside for different reasons. Of course, it just kind of feels safer because we were pretty lucky here in Key West, but of course we are neighboring to other counties that have had more cases of the coronavirus than we have inhabitants. So of course, you know, small islands, small hospitals, so the locals stay careful. And so we tend to go out, if we go out, we tend to go to places that have outdoor space. A lot of places have added tables outside. And after Mallory Square, we're going to go down Duval Street, so I can show you some of the places that have moved tables outside on the sidewalk. So that is pretty neat. So guys, here I have a sign for you, the Commodore restaurant here in the boathouse. They are moving over to the Turtle Crawls location. So there you go, it is confirmed. We never know what is Coconut Telegraph and what is confirmed news. So when I tell you that stuff, I kind of try to be careful and make sure, you know, it's clear that it's Coconut Telegraph, but now it is official. Here we go. So these guys here are going to move over into the Turtle Crawls location, which is further down on the bay on the quieter side. So this whole harbor area actually belongs to the city of Key West. So it's them who decide who is getting a lease for here, you know, what kind of restaurant. I mean, the official statement is that, you know, we try to keep chains out. What is really interesting is that then we saw this sign here. However, it looks like this is not going forward. So that is more like a plan rather than something that is going to happen. So again, this area was supposed to keep chains out and be more like independent restaurants. So we'll see. So the boathouse moving over to Turtle Crawls, which is nice because this place is very much, you know, restaurants next to each other. I don't know if they're gonna mix it in with some retail, we'll see. So this area here, the harbor area, all the historic area, is being managed by the city of Key West. So it is not a question of landlords versus tenants, etc. A lot of the places here in Key West that have closed down have been in discussions with the landlord for a long time, you know, about them increasing rent, etc. And then, of course, with all the last months, that didn't help. So there are always two sides to the story. So again, this area here would be have a lot of different rules and regulations, being a historic seaport area. Over there, Pirates Cove is still closed. It has been a sushi place at one point, which was pretty nice. I don't think it is now, so we will see. Susan, I do not know who in return is going to take over the boathouse once they move to Turtle Crawl, so we'll let you know as soon as we hear something about that. Lots of those areas have like 2 levels, like the first story upstairs has more like a fine dining option, and then downstairs it's mainly like bar and restaurant. So we have the boathouse downstairs and the Commodore upstairs, I think. So they kind of all structured that way. So I think they actually 2 restaurants. So maybe they combine into one. I don't really know.
What?
Or some places have the bars upstairs and the restaurants downstairs. So it really depends. So we'll see what Coconut Telegraph is going to tell us. Coconut Telegraph also told us, if you've been watching our channel regularly, you know that one of our favorite restaurants is called Kojin, and they had to close down because they were in a discussion with the landlord for like several months, since last year actually. And so recently we ran into one of the cooks, so they're 2 brothers, and they told us they are going to move onto Duval Street. Not as Kojin, of course, but hopefully they're going to do some of their same dishes, which happen to be our favorite dishes, so fingers crossed. So lots of moving around, lots of improvements still being done. So we'll go over and check on Greene Street in a little bit, so you know that Duval Street has been totally repaved. It's like really smooth. So has Greene Street. Last time we checked on Greene Street, they still hadn't repainted the parking space, the different parking spaces. So the street is smooth, you just don't really know where to park. And of course Captain Tony's is back open. So at this point, the only places that haven't opened that I can think of are Sloppy Joe's and Hog's Breath. So both places could have theoretically opened quite a while ago, because restaurants were allowed to open at 50% capacity. And they have decided not to, because their layout probably doesn't really help. Although Sloppy Joe's probably should, but then again, you know, they're very touristy spot. So, you know, they're probably waiting to see how many people we have in town before they reopen. So we don't have a, we actually do have a approximate reopening date for Hog's Breath, which would be in July. And we also have the same opening date for Blue Heaven and Salute on the Beach. So they haven't reopened just yet, but they do have a date when they are going to reopen. So if you are planning your trip to Key West, those places are going to be open by July. And the only place we don't have an actual deadline is Sloppy Joe's. But they keep posting on their social media, you know, to just stay tuned. So I'm sure they're gonna announce something very soon. And Marzan, aka Angel, wants to know if the Tropic is open. Well, that is a good question. So cinemas are allowed to open at 50% capacity. Now, if you have been to the Tropic, you know that the different cinemas inside are pretty small. So I haven't seen anything posted by them. So I'm not sure for such a small place it makes a lot of sense. Guys, welcome to Simonton Beach. We have a little bit of time before the sunset. Official sunset time today is 8:15. I thought you might want a little beach view here. A little bit of vitamin D. Here, Loggerhead has been open for a while too. They do some really good fish tacos and they have Cuban coffee. So I'm sending you some beach vibes here. So Dave is asking about Louis' Backyard. So Louis' Backyard has been open for takeout for actually quite a while. If you know, they have the upstairs place, and then you have the restaurant downstairs, and you actually also have the bar. So it's kind of three places in one. So while they were open for takeout, they were doing like a simplified menu that was kind of, mixing whatever both places would do. There is no official statement on when they would reopen, but trust me, we really want to take you to the bar there and show you, because it's a very nice place where lots of locals like to hang out. So we're actually thinking about doing some videos on, places that are a little bit off the beaten path. So they have definitely been open for takeout. We will have to see if they are open for actual dinner right now, and when all the different places start serving their own food again, instead of having a slightly simplified menu. A lot of places were doing that because it's just easier, in order to get all the ingredients, making sure you're not running out of this, and sometimes it's really difficult to plan ahead. So a lot of the places that have been open through the whole pandemic, they had a slightly modified menu. But again, lots of places were open for takeout. So now that we had our beach vibes, it is time to head over to Mallory Square. We're gonna skip Sunset Pier tonight, because unfortunately they still haven't opened the link between Mallory Square and Sunset Pier, so we always kind of have to walk around and then kind of backtrack the same way we came in. So we should probably go and have a little tour of Mallory Square, see who's performing there. Bad Boy wants to know if we're ever going to do another bar crawl. We probably might. I mean, we definitely want to do some of the videos of our favorite places and the bars, etc. I mean, once when you live here, you kind of tend to not really come downtown on Duval Street, except obviously for work. If anybody is with us for the first time, we did a little bar crawl on the opening night here of the bars last Friday. So you can go back and watch that video. But I'm gonna take you guys down Duval Street after sunset. So I'll let you judge if things are getting a little bit quieter than last Friday, where people were lining up at the bars. Because the bars are operating with 50% capacity, so there were lines in front of pretty much every bar, which was crazy. So we had actually a hard time to get into the bars. But again, that was during the weekend. Our neighboring counties, so Miami-Dade and Broward, are still not open. So we probably did have a lot of people just coming down for the weekend from those areas. And by the way, the tram tours are operating again. The conch train is operating. And you can tell it's a very different crowd. So this time of the day, normally, you know, during all those last weeks, we would have a lot of locals coming down on their bikes and heading over to Mallory Square to watch the sunset. And it feels for now it is pretty much a mix of locals still coming down here. And of course, the people that are staying on the island, our tourists that are back. And I just realized we do have a little bit of time. So we should probably go and have a quick check on Sunset Pier. I thought we were going to be short on time, but nope. Here we go. Let's head over there. Of course, I have my mask ready. So here in Key West, we do have a mask rule whenever you walk into closed spaces. So even if you walk into a bar, they do ask you to wear a mask, you know, when you're being greeted and then led over to your table. Some places do take your temperature to make sure their employees are safe. Not all of them, because it turns out those thermometers apparently aren't as reliable as, you know, those no contact, no touch, whatever. So apparently they weren't as accurate as people would have hoped. So the city has decided that they weren't mandatory. But a lot of places do like to do that just in order to, you know, keep their employees safe, which is fair enough. So yeah, we did have our temperature taken today when we went for Taco Tuesday at the Old Town Mexican Cafe. And so yes, Christy, to answer your question, yes, masks are required in the stores. Again, wherever you are in contact with people working, you are required to wear a mask to protect others. Of course, not when you are walking in the street, but whenever you walk into closed spaces or you are in close contact with somebody that is helping you out or serving you, the city of Key West does require a mask for both sides, of course. So your server is going to wear a mask too. And of course, once you are at your table, which is 6 feet apart from the other table, you can remove your mask and enjoy your drinks and your food. It's just, you know, whenever you walk into a place and there is going to be a bottleneck, you know, everybody just always has their masks in their pockets. So for those of you who have been with us through all those last weeks, so you know that Sunset Pier had been open for locals for a while, just around sunset time. It used to be table service only. It looks like the bar has reopened as well, so you can go and grab your own drink.
believe in memories, they look so pretty when I sleep. Hey now when I wake up, you look so pretty sleeping next to me. But there is not enough time, and there is no song I could sing, and there is no combination of words I could say, but I would still tell you one thing: we're better together. Yes, Jack Johnson for the Lovers over here, Chris and Savannah. There's another one for the Lovers.
Your mom was like, let's go, get it for you.
So as you can see here, the gate to Mallory Square is still closed. There's a created bottleneck of people walking out and other people coming in. So we're gonna have to just walk the long way around. That is okay. So guys, it is time to head over to Mallory. So sorry, we have to backtrack. It's still not open, which makes sense. I didn't expect them to be. Although we do have a table right here, guys. So I don't know if you could see that, but some of our Mallory Square artists are performing again. So this should be the second or third night that they are. Unfortunately, on the other nights there was no actual sun setting because it was so cloudy. That's why I wanted to take you guys over there today. So technically speaking, yesterday was the first actual sunset on Mallory Square. Of course, Mallory Square itself has been open for a while, and we have been there on several occasions in previous streams. We even rode a bike on Mallory Square, which you can't do when it is all crowded. But of course, there was a time where it was only locals and people were fishing on Mallory Square and riding around on their bikes and bringing their kids and all their pets, and it was just really quiet and kind of laid back, very different from high season. And right now it is kind of an in-between situation because obviously we do have people back in town, tourists are back, and they kind of are experiencing a much quieter sunset, so it's not like thousands of people. And in the beginning, Mallory Square was open, and but the Sunset Celebration as such wasn't happening because they kind of were a little bit worried about people, you know, assembling around the artists in large numbers, and you know, not sure how people would actually go about the social distancing. So things went and opened up slowly, but it seems to be working. So this is what we are going to check out now. Of course, I do have my mask ready just in case. I have my Conch Republic mask with me today. I do have my Rummatizer hand sanitizer from our local rum distillery. So we are equipped here. Hello Kelly Racer and Dolph and everybody who just joined us. Sorry if I miss out on your comments, or you know, on my streaming phone I can only see like the 4 last lines, and I do have a control phone right here, but it's kind of difficult scrolling through it and walking and talking at the same time. I'm doing my best, just not on those cobblestone roads here. Ooh, I see Susan is having a Havana Mule. I have to admit, I had one earlier too. I took it in my I was recycling my coffee cup, so I took it out in my coffee cup. But the ice cubes just melt way too fast here in a paper cup. So I'm out of a drink. Let's see if there is anything available on Mallory Square. Let's see who's back. I know some of the performers are. I don't know if any of the vendors are. Here, El Maison de Pepe is back open, of course. We dubbed this place Chicken Alley here because we came here when everything was closed and there were some lonely, hungry chickens around here. They are definitely much happier now. Woo, traffic, excuse me. This over here is the takeout line. So you can have your mojitos to go while you watch the sunset. We did that last time. And this definitely looks much busier than what we have seen of all those last weeks. So some of the performers are back. By the way, guys, I was just mentioning the Rummatizer earlier from our local rum distillery. So those guys have put up Rummatizer right here, Rummatizer stations right here on Mallory Square. So where else can you wash your hands, sanitize your hands with leftover rum? So it is rum from the production line. So it's the high proof, I think he said like 145 proof byproduct of rum production that then goes into that sanitizer. So of course we have to try it. I am going to try it. Let's see how this thing. So guys, I am currently sanitizing my hand with rum on Mallory Square. So again, we have a couple of rumatizer stations here on Mallory Square. So you can sanitize your hands with rum, of course, because we are in Key West. Thanks to the Key West first legal rum distillery. We actually have a large bottle of that rumatizer at home too, that we use to sanitize stuff and actually clean with it. It just smells so good. So this is really cool. By the way, guys, a lot of you have been supporting us during those last weeks and have been donating and tipping us. So tonight we are going to give back and tip as much as we can those local artists that are back here at the Sunset Celebration. There are tipping links as well in the video description. I do think our Streamlabs bot is posting some links if you want to donate. And we will go and check out who's here. So we have this guy. So as you can see, people are keeping their distances. So they're not like squeezing in the artist, which is good.
I would not hassle you. I would not tell you how much to give me. If you take my show from $10 to $5, make your way straightforward. If you do not have any money, that's no problem. Now, I need a little rhythm for this one. Everybody, come on. Thank you so much for supporting my show. Have a blessed evening. Enjoy Mallory. Enjoy Key West. Thanks everybody for passing through. You know, we got a great atmosphere right here. You have a wonderful place. Beautiful people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody. Have a blessed evening. Enjoy your vacation. Thanks. You got a nice bike. Can I see your bike for a minute?
Show was good.
Oh, there you go. Yes, Kelly Racer, we have rum inside and out here at Key West. We put it into our bodies, we put it on our hands.
Stop it. Yeah, it is.
So we do have some of the merchants back as well, not just the performers.
One of the cats, when we went into the bedroom, the cat was sleeping right on the bed.
So of course it is still quieter than what it normally is in high season here in Key West. Well, it probably wouldn't be high season, but you know. If you've seen our videos before and then during the pandemic, of course, you'll see what I mean. And we are in Key West. Yes, Angel, your man is right over here. His vehicle has been parked here over the last weeks. We've seen it a couple of times even on empty Mallory Square. But here we are, he is back in business.
You catching the bus? Trying to catch the bus or be at the parking? Snack time in Sunset? There you go. What's better than
I might have to adopt that sign that says adopt safe 6 feet apart. I see somebody got really creative in creating those signs. Here is another one. So you know we have the 6-toed cats. And here we have the 6 feet. So we have safe 6, we have 6 feet cats. Oh, thank you, Angel. That is so sweet. Okay. Of course. If you insist, I will totally have a coconut. Nothing like sipping on a coconut while watching the sunset.
Yeah, that's up to you. It's not a market, this is a celebration. Yeah, those I left here the last time.
Thank you so much, Marzan.
And there's going to be more. Oh, yeah. Yep. Come on. Look at the kid. You don't want to, man. We didn't want to. You can't do that to the guy. Look at her, brother. You don't want to. Hey, this is yours.
Yeah.
I like this plate now.
Wow. Where's the girl? Where's everyone?
Hey, coconut brother.
Okay, guys, I am waiting in line to get a coconut.
Hey, this is yours. You gotta like this better.
Kindly sponsored by Angel, aka Marzan.
Bring this coconut. Say thank you. He's gonna like it. Try this one as soon as it tastes you. Yeah, a little one, please. Yeah. You know that,
Dad, I'm fine.
Okay, so we're gonna put the money in the coconut. Is that how it works? You put the money in the coconut?
no, stuff it in.
Okay, thank you.
Open them on when you finish. Bring it back. We're gonna open it up.
Yeah, when
Have one of these.
Ooh, and when you're finished drinking the coconut milk, you can come back, the coconut water, you can come back and he opens them so you can eat the coconut flesh out of it. Ooh.
Yeah, she's taking a video. Listen, when you finish, we're gonna bust it up. We're gonna eat it. All right?
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, guys. Thank you, Angel. So, if you're just joining us, we are enjoying a Mallory Square Sunset Celebration. The Sunset Celebration is back. It has become much busier, but it is still pretty easy to keep your 6 feet distance. And we have just been talking about the creativity of the signs that they have put up here on Mallory Square. So we had signs telling us to practice safe 6 feet apart, and we have the 6 feet cat here, like the 6-toed cats. And let's head over to our wall here. Cheers, guys. I am going to enjoy my coconut. Hope you guys have your drinks ready to enjoy the sunset. Of course, this time of the year it is behind Sunset Key. But Mustafa is back. Isn't that nice?
They really saying, I love you, I hear babies cry, I see them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I watch the sun set low with a ruddy glow.
So yes, Christy is asking if these would be mainly tourists.
Mexico.
I am pretty sure they are. We do have some tourists in town. So ever since Key West opened on June 1st.
I watch lovers kiss and families hug.
Of course, we were here on the last night just before Key West reopened to tourists. So we were here on May 31st to celebrate our last locals-only sunset celebration. But none of the artists were playing back then. I have to admit, I am pretty happy to see that everybody is keeping their distances as much as it's possible. Because it is important to keep the artists safe. Because obviously whoever is performing can't wear a mask. This is one of our worries as well. You know, when Gabe's going back to Captain Tony's, of course a lot of places have their artists playing on a stage. So it kind of, you know, really depends on the location. Bad boy, I could put some of that Rummatizer hand sanitizer in the coconut probably, given that it's basically just rum. But this coconut is delicious. I kind of don't even want to add some rum to it. So Fury is back out. We saw them up close during our last sunset stream, and well, there wasn't actually a sun setting. So they are operating at 50% capacity. So today the boat looks much emptier than last time, because this time they actually on the side of the sunset, while last time they were on the side of Mallory Square because that was the only thing to see because it was very cloudy. But today looks like we're going to have a nice sunset.
This world's gone crazy. It's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. believe it anyway. You can love someone with all your heart for all the right reasons, and in a moment they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. God is great, but sometimes life don't feel so good. And then you pray, but things don't turn out like you think they should. Pray anyway, pray anyway. You can pour your soul out singing a song you believe in, that tomorrow will forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway, sing it anyway.
Guys, here's to the sunset.
Sing it anyway.
I'm cheering you with a coconut here.
Okay, just before sunset, the sun is now moving in this direction, finally. So we'll be out in the ocean.
So it is definitely much busier than it has been.
Now. But right now it's sitting behind the island.
We started our bar crawl, Duval crawl video here on Duval Street on Friday, which is after it opened to the tourists and the day the bars opened. And it was much quieter than this, but then again, you know, there wasn't really a sun setting, so nobody really came to see the sunset. So tonight is the perfect night.
Will to me by my Father's hand. All my days I will sing and praise of your crystal water, your shining sun.
I have to admit, I am currently using this as a table here. This is pretty convenient. I can put down my coconut. I can pull out my control phone so I can see what you guys are up to.
All my days I will sing and praise of your crystal water, your shining sun. I hope the day will never come when I cannot sing to the setting sun. Ever letting this heart of mine sing my favorite songs from the strawberry field. So I learned the sun will to me by my Father's hand. All my days I will sing.
So official sunset time is in 5 minutes from now. However, of course, the sun is setting behind Sunset Key. So it's still peeking through the palm trees a little bit. It's not actually setting just yet, but it definitely doesn't look like it is.
All my days I will sing and praise of your crystal water, your shining sun.
So that coconut is delicious. It's very sweet. It's very good.
By my Father, all my days I will sing and praise of your crystal water, your shining sun. We have a phenomena that takes place here at our sunsets in Key West. It doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while, when the sun seemingly
Well, thank you so much for this little coconut to go with the sunset. This is really cool.
While the sun is setting behind the island as it is, but it's possible that you'll be able to
Actually, it looks pretty neat to have like the sunset in the background and having the coconut here in the foreground. Doing some artistic
If you don't see
video
the
in
green
here.
flash, please don't feel left out because you can create your own green flash as you walk past the musician's basket. You see that basket sitting there? If you got something green in your pocket, you got some love in your heart for the music, for the occasion, flash it into the basket. I'm going to have a request
So
for
there she goes. Now it's about official sunset time. We actually have another minute.
CD. I have a couple of CDs here with many of the songs that I sing here on here at Sunset. 12 songs on one CD, 14 songs on the other. One of the CDs was
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you so much for tipping our channel. Of course, tonight we are going to tip the local artists here in return. These guys have been out of work for about 10 weeks too.
This is a song from my second CD. I'll try to remember.
So we already had one of the performers. We had the coconut guy. Actually didn't have a price on his coconut, so you could put in whatever you wanted in his coconut. He's collecting the money in a coconut. Key West style.
It was so mellow. Got to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Got to remember the kind of September when you were young and colorful. Got to remember, and if you remember, then follow.
So guys, let's go and check out who else is here. Of course, we're gonna tip Mustafa here.
Got to remember when love was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Got to remember when love was so tender that dreams were kept beside your pillow. Got to remember when love was so tender and you were an ember about to bellow. Got to remember, if you remember, then follow.
You know what? Let's see if we can find some more of those creative signs. So we had the 6 feet distance. We did have the other one over here. Where did it go?
Oh, thank you.
So happy to see all these guys here are really busy. Our coconut guy is opening one coconut after the other.
No way.
That's work. Here's the other sign, and we'll see if we can find a third one. This is the one we saw earlier. Looks like we're gonna have some really nice colors. It's lighting up the clouds. And we'll continue, see if I am on the lookout of another sign. But I think that was pretty much the two main ones. Ooh, those guys, the pineapple smells so good. Look at that. Ooh, I see another sign, guys. I see another sign. Here is another 6 feet sign. Well, this seems to be pretty harmless. But so somebody got really creative with the 6 feet apart messages here on Mallory Square. I'm also trying to find another aromatizer station, so they put up some hand sanitizer stations with the local locally made hand sanitizer made of rum. They put up a couple of stations around here. We found one when we walked into Mallory Square. I'm not sure if there is another one here, because you know what? Finally, they opened up the bridge between Mallory Square and the Margaritaville Resort. So this is the first time we're back where this is open. So guys, our first sunset celebration for a long while. Of course, still a little bit less of the fewer artists out tonight. It's nice to see Mustafa back. So we haven't been in this part for a very long time. So this little bridge here that connects Mallory Square to the Margaritaville Resort has reopened. But the Catman is not back yet, so his spot is here now. So if you've been to Key West, obviously you know the Catman. And he's no longer performing on Mallory Square, but here in front of the Margaritaville Resort, because he tends to draw quite the crowd and he needs a lot of space with his cats. So this area fully reopened. Another nice outdoor spot where you can sit outside, even watch the sunset. looks like we're gonna have some nice colors, a little bit of an afterglow. So I know I normally finish those sunset streams on the corner of Duval Street and Greene Street, but I figured tonight we could just walk down Duval Street and check out what is going on at the Green Parrot. Again, the Green Parrot opened up yesterday. They didn't have live music because Mondays is bingo night. And it was funny because we rode by the Green Parrot and there were lots of locals. You know, you can sit outside, everything is pretty, you know, they kind of don't have a lot of people inside. It's not as crowded as the bars looked on Friday night. So again, things have quieted down a little bit after the weekend. And I am backtracking this way because I want to go back to the hand sanitizing station. I just thought that was really cool. So it's the local distillery who does that hand sanitizer out of a byproduct of the rum production. It smells of rum. Let's see if we find another sign. So far we have found 3 signs, well actually technically 4, of interesting information on staying 6 feet apart. Plus here is another musician that we need to tip because it is good to have them back. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You too. So the Sunset Celebration is back on Mallory Square. Let's see if this guy over here is the same one that was here when we started the stream, when we arrived on Mallory Square.
To alternate my show a lot. But today I gotta use my table. Okay, if I get over this table, guys, that would be the grand finale of the show. Remember my show, I use a lot of energy in the show, and I almost run out. Is everybody ready for the grand finale? Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to do it like this. I'm a bit tired right now.
A breast punky? No, we have not seen Liz or Bongo George tonight. We only had 2 musicians.
You guys can make your way after the show.
So not everybody is back to playing here.
Money, that's no problem.
We actually saw Liz like day before yesterday doing a show on her Facebook page.
Let's get ready for the finale. It's going to be
playing live. actually tipped him earlier, but hey, we're just gonna tip again.
Enjoy your vacation, enjoy Mallory, enjoy Key West. Oh, thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. It's been a fantastic audience. Thank you.
Okay, so since we're leaving Mallory Square, we need a little dose of aromatizer. It smells a lot like rum. It's probably the best hand sanitizer you can imagine. So these hand sanitizer stations are donated by the Key West Legal Rum Distillery. So, and as I said, we normally finish those streams on the corner of Duval Street and Greene Street. But tonight we are going to continue and walk down Duval Street. This is the nicest time of the day when the lights come on and we have a little bit of an afterglow. See what's going on there. Again, Friday night was pretty crazy. So if you haven't, you can go back and check out our live stream from Friday night when the bars reopened and we thought, you know, we're gonna go and check on the bars, and actually turned out that it was pretty hard to get into the bars because they operate at 50% capacity. So there was a line pretty much everywhere at Irish Kevin's and the Smoking Tuna. But we did get into the Tree Bar and Captain Tony's. Of course, guys, we will be having another porch session tomorrow, Wednesday. Our Wednesday porch session. Yesterday's was pretty fun if you missed it. So Gabe took on the challenge of playing pretty much any request that would come in. So he's not the kind of guy who plays with a with the phone or an iPad or something where you can see the song. So he either knows the songs or to a certain extent can even fake it. And so yesterday he was trying out a new app and was playing songs that he's never played before. It was kind of fun. Very different songs. Then of course there were a lot of songs we kind of had to check out afterwards because I've never heard of them, like Great White Buffalo. Hey Kevin, if you're watching. I didn't realize that Raspberry Beret was a Prince song. So that was an interesting session. But yes, our next porch session is tomorrow, 5 till 7 Island time. So you can just kick back with a drink and join us and make song requests and, you know, just chill with us on the porch somewhere in Bahama Village here in Key West. So guys, Greene Street has been redone as part of the repavement project of Duval Street. So you'll see very smooth, less potholes, so way less dangerous after a couple of drinks. They even painted in some nice crosswalks, but they still haven't gotten around to putting in the parking spaces. So it's all, you know, approximately, you know, you can park here. Okay, let's see if it fits in there. And we are waiting for the rainbow crosswalk to be painted back on Petronia, so no word on that. Of course, it is Pride Month, so we are looking forward to seeing them paint and put this back. And so Captain Tony's is open again, officially open again since last Friday. And the musician is on a break. I think this is probably the, no wait, 8:30. Okay, somebody's starting late. So Amigos is still closed. No word on Amigos. I do see light inside though. So I'm pretty sure we know more about those guys by the end of this week if they have an opening date. Musician at Tony is still setting up. Definitely looks a little bit quieter than last Friday. Tiki House, of course, Sloppy Joe's is still closed. And we're gonna walk down Duval Street. The green room is open. I think the entrance is on that side and then the exit is on the other side. And we have our evening standing protest here in front of Sloppy Joe's. We already had a march last Monday here for Black Lives Matter, and so now they have a stand in here. They actually started a long time ago. I'm amazed we still have people standing here. That is pretty cool. Let's go over there and say hi. Of course, in solidarity, I'm wearing my One Human Family shirt. Let's go and have a look at their beautiful signs. I always think that. Thank you, thank you. Daniel is asking if the Pegasus Hotel is still open. I'm pretty sure they are. We're actually gonna walk by there in just a bit. If you walk over to the Green Parrot, we're gonna walk by the Pegasus, which is right next to the new Walgreens, the Strand Theater that has been renovated. So it's been a Walgreens for a while, but just totally redid it and have like beautiful colors, and it's all lit up. It's really nice. So we're gonna see that in a minute. So of course Rick's is back open, Dirty Harry's. That pizza place has been open pretty much the whole time. These guys here aren't open tonight, but they took down "Sorry we are closed" sign. That was pretty cool. So now it is back to being a husband daycare center. Richard's favorite place. He always tries to get us into Irish Kevin's. So I tried twice. Last time we couldn't get in, it was too busy. The line was out in the street because they're still operating at 50% capacity. And you can see those guys, for example, are taking your temperature when you walk in. And what do we have here? We do have a line in front of Smoking Tuna. So again, Smoking Tuna is an outdoor space, so that's one of the places where people like to go and hang out because it just feels a little bit safer. And looks like they are at capacity again. Not bad for a Tuesday night. A little bit quieter here at Irish Kevin's. And we're gonna walk down Duval Street. Let's go and check out the Bull. So that block here is pretty dark. Again, so Lucy's was a local restaurant that had just somewhat recently moved here to this Duval location. They used to be way more hidden. And and then there is the Loose Cannon right here. This place has changed names many times over the last 2 or 3 years. Looks like the Bull is pretty quiet. It is definitely very different from Friday night. This is actually pretty nice. We should do a midweek bar crawl soon. And let's go down Caroline Street. We haven't been here in a while. Lost Weekend Liquor Store. Of course, liquor stores have been open the whole time. So we have First Flight on the left and Hank's Hair of a Dog to the right. They are also home to Garbo's Grill food truck.
Just want to stop things why can't we speak forever? Just want
I see Susan's question what the husband daycare center is. The Red Garter Saloon. I see Bad Boy. they gave an explanation of the husband daycare center.
I am just a pretty slider. I am just an imbecile. I don't hate you. Trust in me and God as well. I will find the center in you. I want you to believe. I will work to elevate you. Just enough to bring you down. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something that's passing down? Mother Mary, won't you whisper something that was passed down? Why can't we not be sober? I just want to start things over. And why can't we drink forever? I just want to start things over.
So you can see the outdoor locations are pretty busy. And let's also face it, we are close to summer, so it's going to get really hot on the island very soon. So here we have First Flight. They have a beautiful garden, and they also have an outdoor bar. It's the first Pan Am building, birthplace of Pan Am American World Airways. And this place used to be Kelly's, owned by Kelly McGillis, okay. So we are now on Whitehead Street. It's interesting how as soon as you get away from Duval Street, it starts to get much quieter. But we are going back onto Duval Street in just a second. Just wanted to show you how quiet it is. So this is what it has been like for the last 10 weeks. And you can basically cross the street without having to worry about cars. The chickens definitely took advantage of that. So now those guys have to get used to cars again. The chickens have been taking over the island quite a bit. And we are going to turn back onto Duval Street right here. We're going to take Eaton Street, one block up. So we're now on Whitehead, passing the Banyan Tree Resort. So here's the Tropic Cinema. They definitely don't look open. Well, I'm pretty sure they did have their lights on before, but now it's just pretty dark. So that gives you an idea how quiet the side streets still are. Doesn't feel this quiet during the day though. Traffic definitely has picked up. and we'll see how things go next weekend. So here you see we're back on Duval Street right here, corner Eaton Street and Duval Street, and we're gonna be headed towards Southern Street, checking out what's going on in one of the most local bars, the Green Parrot. So back on Duval. And I'm going to show you the renovated Strand Theater. Oh yeah, Willie T's was another bar we tried to get into Friday night. That was way too busy. That's kind of when we made the decision that this wasn't going to work, so we decided we just go home. Well, we actually went and tried to grab some food, and literally a minute after we ended the stream, it started to pour. So pouring rain. But then the timing was pretty cool. It was raining while we were waiting for our takeout food. Hey Sandy, hey KUS 444. Sorry, just dropped my mask. Hey QS 444, I see you booked for August. I think I have to start an overview. I have to have a list of who's here. I know some of you postponed your trip. Some of you were supposed to be here in May. I know some of you are coming in July, so that's really cool. It's always so great to meet you guys in person. So this is Fleming Street. So this is kind of the area where there are a lot of local restaurants, a little bit hidden. So this is like the food epicenter of Key West. So we have several restaurants here on Fleming. The Thirsty Mermaid, and then Clement is one of the best pizzas on the island. And the next street is Southern Street.
Hello, how are you?
Hey.
How you doing today?
Good. I'm actually pretty sure that's one of our neighbors, because I see his parrot sit on the porch. He's got two beautiful, giant, colorful parrots. And here we are, Willie T's. Willie T's also reopened on Friday. They definitely look pretty much as busy as they did on Friday. Here the Trattoria has tables outside. Here's the renovated Strand Theater.
All the signs I don't understand. It's just a job 5 days a week. I'm a young man.
is a little in this little lane is a hidden restaurant slash bar called Mary Ellen's, which in high season I'm pretty sure makes like grilled cheese until 2 or 4 a.m. So if you're ever in need of a grilled cheese in the middle of the night, Mary Ellen's is the place to come. So there you go, beautiful colors, a little bit bright. Totally redone, one of the many projects of renovation on the island during the shutdown. Of course, all smooth Duval Street is one of them, no more potholes. And you can see traffic is back. And somebody earlier asked about the Pegasus Hotel, so it is still here, right here on the corner of Duval Street and Southern Street. Now I am not sure that they are currently open. Not all the hotels have reopened yet, as they're supposed to only have open at 50% capacity, so depending on how the rooms are or how their layout is, or what kind of, you know, even something as simple as a breakfast buffet is not as simple in current times. But other than that, Pegasus is still here. Of course, here this is the food block. Southern Street. So we have like a Mexican, Italian, Thai, we have Japanese. We're gonna have more soon. And of course over here we have fritters. If you guys ever wonder where we get those One Human Family masks and the Conch Republic face masks from, Fritters is making them. I think you can contact them through their Facebook page. I think the official Facebook page is Fritters Cuban Burger Cafe. And Marcia is going to make those masks for you and even send them to you. I know some people here did order some. And they have a nice outdoor area here too. Tiny little hidden spot. And it is time for us to almost finish the stream. We have arrived at the Green Parrot. Let's see what is going on there. Don't hear any music. So not all of the bars reopened right away with live music. Then again, the Green Parrot has like themed nights. So Monday is bingo night, and I think the first Wednesday of the month is like ukulele night. And there is like a whole calendar I don't have in my head. But this bar, if you don't know it, it is a little bit off the beaten path. And it's so nice to see it back open. So really mellow, really laid back for now. Of course, it is Tuesday night. But we ended one of our other streams right here when it was still closed, so this is so nice to see. And the other streets, so we're actually back on Whitehead. So you can see the other streets besides Duval Street are still somewhat quiet, not too much traffic. So for now the action is pretty much focused on Duval Street. So guys, you can see this is pretty quiet. You have some people sitting outside. This is nice to see. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's stream, and we will be back tomorrow 5 till 7 with a porch session where you can join us, make song requests on our porch. Just bring your drinks. These are the official signs all over Key West, in case you're wondering. And of course, the liquor store right next to the Green Parrot has reopened too. So guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed our little walk. I'm definitely thirsty from all the talking. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you tomorrow at the porch session. And we will continue to give you updates on how things go here on our little island. Have a great night, and I hope all of you take care, and I see you soon.